Welcome back. Hello, everyone. I am so happy to be here. So happy to see everyone. I'm Floresia Allen, wonderful host and beautiful host of Sweet Potato Society's Talk About, and my wonderful co-host here, Gregory Allen. We're here to talk about some things today. So much has gone on, and we've missed all of you out there in wonderful, beautiful Secland. So first, let's get off the table. If anyone would like to call in and ask some questions, comments, or anything else, reach us at 860-440-3154. I do appreciate that I looked on the YouTube channel and on our Facebook channel and saw where many comments were, and I appreciate all of them. So the love goes out to everyone here. I want to say happy Black History Month. It is the end of it, and it is a leap year. February 29th, which is so wonderful. Greg, how are you doing today? What's going on? How is your month going?
Beautiful, I tell you. It's been a short month, but a busy month. It's been real busy. Food pantry and getting all the food out to the people that we need, and just keeping busy. And enjoying life. I know there's a lot of things going on in America or in the world, but just enjoying life just happy to wake up in the morning and be able to walk, talk, and feel. And 6 feet above the ground, not under the ground. That's a blessing.
Yeah, it is a blessing.
6 feet above the ground and not under the ground.
That is a blessing. That really is. They're just, some wonderful housekeeping too. As I wanted, just also, we made a couple of wonderful new relationships this week. I just want to give a shout out there to always, and of course, to Niantic Lions. They have their arts and crafts show coming up. So anyone wants to be involved in that or to check it out. Go on Niantic District 23C, our website, to be able to see all the goings on for Niantic Lions. The Arts and Crafts Show has been around a long time. They're probably now starting to take in for vendors and booths. So you would reach out to Niantic Lions Club. Also want shout out there to we met with new relationship, Safe Futures. So, and I had never really sat down and talked with them, but they're doing a lot of good things out there. I also wanted to put shout out there to which she's going to be our upcoming guest, which is, and we're going to get more involved in different situations there. So we'll be more involved in some agency on aging things and what's happening in that case as well. Senior Resources has a lot, and please excuse me because I'm just tangling myself up, trying to get untangled. Senior Resources out of Norwich, Agency on Aging, they have a lot of things that are happening and a lot of things that they want to come and talk about and what's happening with the community of seniors and the aged and a lot of the veterans. As well as speaking on veterans, Gregory, of course, is our wonderful veteran who always represents while he's here with us and several of the others. We have VETS, which is Veterans Equine Therapeutic Services, and Ruck Up is getting ready to start. So, everybody's getting involved with that. So please reach out to Torgensen out of VETS, and he will, direct you to what's happening in the VETS community as well. So that being said, there's a lot of, hot news that's been going on. You know what I'm saying, right, Greg? A lot of hot news. there's of course we still have things happening in the political aspect of border patrol and things happening that way with presidential elections, with mayoral elections. Bridgeport is really, really, which we already knew that, Gannon, I'm sorry to say it to the other person, but Gannon was gonna get back in there. That's just, it's a popularity vote there. I'm not saying that he doesn't do a bad, job I don't live in Bridgeport, but I know, working in Bridgeport and being around in the area, I know that, that popularity is very high there. But I want to talk about another situation, and we're going to go into the healthcare scare of people are bringing it up quite a bit, and I've brought it up several times. This is just a love of mine, which is dementia, Alzheimer's, traumatic brain injuries, and aphasias. And what people we just got, we see on the news and all over media, and I don't understand why that is not why people are, and please do not misunderstand when I say ignorant to the fact. So please understand the way I'm saying it, that are ignorant to the fact about dementias and Alzheimer's and the difference between them, and about aphasias, whether it's receptive or expressive. So I think that's something that we really need to focus on a lot. I've been doing this for 35 years, and that is just something that you just have to have the patience about. But now that it has hit up where our latest celebrity, which is Wendy Williams, how you doing? Wendy Williams and Bruce Willis have been affected with that, where there's been many, many, many others before this that were effective, and where they're talking about the frontal lobe dementia and aphasia. So your thoughts on that, Greg? So tell me what you really like, the things that you are thinking about, or what you were talking about as far as the aphasias go, as far as dementias and the situation.
Well, the thing is, we're all going to get old. We're all going to get old, and I just can't imagine myself waking up in the morning and wondering who I am and what I'm going to do. And it's real scary. It's real scary. But as you said earlier, it's a fact. It's a fact with dementia and aphasia and the behavior, the behaviors of what that person is going through. And you said earlier about the patience you have to have. Like you said, you've been doing this for 35 years, and I give you a lot of credit for doing that. Not everybody can do it. I mean, of course, everybody has their own occupancy and field of work, but dealing with that takes a lot of patience. And it's scary. It's scary to wake up in the morning and don't even know your name, and how do you even got here? So it's just part of mental health, and it's a very, very serious topic here, and this hopefully we can get a lot of caring people to care for these patients or for these individuals that's going through it. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's going through it. Like this. And we're all going to get old once. I mean, see it on the commercials on TV, and the yelling and the screaming and the rage, and it really is. It's like that movie. It's like that movie Exorcist. Watch that movie Exorcist. And you've been doing it a while, and said earlier, it's no fun. it's no fun to feel that way. And that's why you got to enjoy. That's why I try to enjoy every gift that I have now. That have all my senses and all my. You said the frontal lobe of the brain and it's just mental health. It's mental health.
Mm-hmm. Well, there is, there's it. Well, I can understand and see where you're saying, like with mental health. I can see it can affect your mental health. But some dementias and types, some, brain injuries, whether it's acquired, and acquired is considered your strokes, which come from other disease process. Some of the dementias affect that, which are like diabetes, hypertension, is a cause and effect of strokes, which become an acquired brain injury, which then you have the effects of the different lobes and what each lobe represents. I think people should, people might want to understand if they look up the different lobes and what they represent in our body. Our brain is the command center of our whole entire being and body. That is the control of all that we do. It has to give a signal for everything. So when that is damaged or somehow something goes wrong there, it's different than breaking your arm, breaking your wrist. If you fracture your wrist, they can put a band on, a brace, a splint, a cast, and eventually the bone will heal. You may get arthritis or something, but you can still use it, and it will function, hopefully properly. The brain, because it has so many contours in there, and it's covered by the skull, which, in all that matter that's in there and the fluid that's in there, if that is actually damaged through the skull, or not even that, if it's something that comes from the heart or comes from the kidneys or comes from any of those systems or the blood flow to the brain is not adequately, it causes ischemic events sometimes, or damages to the brain, which will affect certain areas. Memory, perception, frontal lobe, your temporal, which, in your problem solving. The parietal lobe, which we know that, has other functions for what we need to do and certain reasoning. Those things are affected. And if it does not, and it's not going to heal, and if it does, it's a slow process in the brain. The brain does not heal that way, or does not change. And then not only that, if we've used things drugs, alcohol, things of that nature, and we've abused it, cigarette smoking, nicotine, not cigarette smoking, but the nicotine and ETOH, those things affect it as well. Everything can affect our brain, which then affects our body functions. So when, people ask the questions, like I was watching on Good Morning America when Nate asked, this is a big thing. Is this like hereditary, or is this, how does this happen? Well, it's happened a long time ago, because isn't Nate a football player?
Yes, he is. Yeah.
He's a football player.
Mm-hmm.
Football players, and that's why it's just, and that's a extreme contact sport. I understand we have helmets and we have other kinds of protections that we have, and boxers, those are contact sports. So if the head is hit nonstop, that's a brain injury eventually. It's not acquired because it's not something in the system that's doing it to you, like hypertension or like diabetes or anything like that. It's not that. It's someone actually hitting your head, and the brain inside is just going like this and hitting against the skull and trying to survive it. So it's not like the brain is hard and just like, okay, no, it's not. It's hitting against your hard skull, and you're damaging all the areas that are inside. that affect what you have to do in life. So for them to ask those questions, football players, the front line is bam, is damaging. And I understand quarterbacks are, and running backs are, trying to get away and do, and they're supposed to have that protection. But if they're hit by that line and that head goes bam, all you have to do is hit your head on a cabinet. Okay, so, all right, audience, so look at this. So if you bump this is your skull, and if you bump your head against a cabinet, boom, the brain is going to go like this, doom, 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 and it's going to hit the skull. So you can actually just damage something just by hitting your head on the cabinet. And we've all done that. We've all left the cabinet open and we hit, bam, and the brain has to move. And it has to still, it's going to hit inside. It's moving now as I'm doing that. That's why we have, when we go to when they're babies, the shaken baby syndrome. And they say, don't shake your baby. Don't throw the baby up, because that skull is not developed and hardened yet. And you have the soft spot right there at the top, which can cause damage to that baby and to your brain. And that's a long-term effect of you. Things that we eat, things that we put in our mouth, things that can damage the blood system, like lead paint. And people say that you're in these old homes, and you're in these homes that that need renovating, and the dust, and going into the gardens, these community gardens, which are beautiful. It's a great initiative. But community gardens in areas that are urban, inner city areas that have not been, and I'm not talking about super sites, I'm talking about that have not been, soil has not been tested and has not been looked at and has been absorbed, the lead paint. What happens with lead paint, Greg? He knows. What happens with lead paint that goes into soil? Does it disappear?
No, it stays in, and then you wind up eating it, and then it's part of it, and then it ruins your nervous system, which is your nervous system is what? Your blood.
Mm-hmm. Your nervous system is cold.
And it's in the blood, and
And is lead paint, what is it? What is lead? What is lead? Is it a just something that you can just wash out and just chemical or?
No, lead is very, very toxic. Mm-hmm. It really is, and
So if it gets in the soil and then you plant a garden on top of it, where's that lead going into? Because lead drops. When it's in the air as a dust, the lead portion of it does what? Lead is heavy.
That's right. It stays within. It doesn't. It's not like it's going to evaporate.
Never evaporates.
It's not going to evaporate. You're probably going to wind up eating it. Wind up getting it in your vegetables.
There you go. There you go.
All in your food.
Yep. It grows right into the vegetable.
Yes. It gets into your vegetables and stuff. That ruins your nervous system. But getting back to the head injury, I remember, and you know this as well, America, I was in a very serious car accident. Mm-hmm. 14 years old, and had a fractured skull, and back then it was TBIs wasn't even thought of, traumatic brain injury. It was just called a fractured skull, and as time went by, like you said, Floresia said earlier, started the memory loss, forgetting things, and had to go through the VA and had to, what was it called?
A neuropsych evaluation.
A neuropsych evaluation through the VA.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you, like I just said in the beginning of the show, it's not a happy feeling. When you're sitting there and they asking you to do blocks and remember this and then next 5 minutes, it's like, remember what did he just said? I'm like, no. And then, like you mentioned earlier, about medicating yourself, whether it be alcohol, drugs, or in eating habits, any addiction, just to medicate yourself. And you're getting back to it, and it was very hard. But you know what the sad thing about this situation is, and the really hard thing about it is, the people that don't understand, they start to make fun of make fun of you.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
They criticize and critique
criticize
and judge.
and make fun of you. You know, and that's the sad thing about it is they make fun of you if you do forget things and don't remember things.
They judge you and think it's your intelligence, it's your intellect, and it's not your intellect.
And
It's
they make fun of you, and it's not a funny situation. I mean, you know, but this too shall pass. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you gets all it takes is one. All it takes is one person to say, you know what, I understand where you're coming from. I understand what happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't have to feel sorry for yourself. You're not alone. You're not alone. We all going through certain things in life.
Mm-hmm.
But the main thing is to get the help. To get the help. You know, go get the help. Me, when they say I'm not alone, get the help and then admit and to accept. You know, to admit and to accept that that you do have a memory problem. Like my father would say, oh, there's nothing wrong with him, there's nothing wrong with him. My father, God bless his soul. My mother said, yes, it is. Mm-hmm. It is something.
Something has changed.
Something has changed. And it was the car accident. You know, fractured skull.
Mm-hmm.
Uncle fell asleep at the wheel and the car hit a tree and went off a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, so it's just the impact. And I, you know, knock on wood, you know, I was able to still remember stuff,
Yeah.
like even today, you know, remember just the little things. And I guess but we're going to go through it, like you said earlier. We're all going to get our old once, and they care for the individual, care for the human life. It's part of humanity, you know. Care for the humanity of life. You know, don't be selfish about the situation. Mm-hmm. You know, and understand. Read about it. You know, just read about it. Yeah. You don't know something, read about it.
And this is something that's not new.
This
is not new.
Oh,
this
no.
has been around for
years.
For years. You know, and everywhere that I think that I have gone, and maybe that's because that's one of the strengths that I like. You know, everyone has their own strengths, mm-hmm. but Alzheimer's, dementias, and dementia. You can have dementia, and especially early onset. And those out here in TV Wonderful Sec Land, I would advise you also to, and we're talking about, you know, young dementia and early onset, because before, you know, Bruce Willis, like I said, before there's other people, you know, before Muhammad Ali, before all of those who have
Muhammad Ali had Parkinson's.
All right, he had Parkinson's, but before that, and here you go, the effect, the cause and effect, the nervous system, that walk, what type of injuries happen to affect that? We're not even going to talk about Parkinson's. That's another you know, situation.
There's so many. I tell you, it's so many of them.
But people don't realize that it's just that the effect you get,
yeah.
And people they misunderstand, because you are diagnosed with certain things. There also doesn't mean that someone is still not in there.
Right.
The movie I Am Still Jane. One of my favorite movies. All-time favorite movies. I have several, but one of them is 50 First Dates with Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler. Go and see 50 First Dates. Look it up, Netflix, whatever. That is an awesome movie. That is more of a, and that's a young person who has had an accident and, you know, has a traumatic brain injury, and speaks of, you know, having to go through the same life every single day. That's one situation, and it's sort of a comedy, but it's a love story, and it's beautiful. But watch that. The next one, I Am Still Jane, is something that I think promotes more so of something that go into a celebrity status of Bruce Willis and Wendy Williams, what they have experienced. I Am Still Jane is well, it may not be, because I don't know. Okay, I'm going to be a smart behind now, as I don't know Bruce Willis and Wendy Williams' educational status. I know they're celebrities, but I don't know what their IQ is. But in this movie, and I want to laugh at myself. I'm sorry, celebrities. I'm not saying that you're not, that those two are not intelligent, and I'm not saying that at all, or highly intelligent, because they are, because their job performance is wonderful and what they do is great. But this happens to be about an extremely intelligent woman who is a professor with a multitude of degrees and masters of psychology and everything else. And in her 50s, and she was a runner. She was she exercised, in which they say you need a lot of great oxygen going to the brain helps with a lot with the body functionings, and helps with the brain. Oxygenation, which is good. She did all of that, and because there was one gene that was in her for that type of dementia, she developed dementia early and started forgetting, and within months she didn't know where she was and wasn't able to speak or to receive, but she had to make a tape and a video of who she was so she could actually go back and forth and let people know, just because I'm sitting here in front of you and I may not be able to express or remember where I was the day before, I'm still Jane. I'm still her. So don't talk over me. Don't speak over me. And which a lot of times people try to do when you're in the beginning stages, because dementia can go all the way up to 10, 12 years. 15 years you can have dementia before it turns into Alzheimer's and you go into other process of it. So you're still in there, even though you may not remember what happened yesterday, but that long-term memory is still there, and you still know who you are. You'll always know who you are. You may not know who your partner is. You may wake up the next morning and say, who is this stranger in my bed with me? Or who are you? Because they don't remember who you are of yesterday. But they'll know 20 years prior to that, or when the effect of when that brain injury happened. So watch those two movies and see what and try to read, and everyone try to read and understand, because you'll come across individuals in your walks of life, in our walks of life, that just because they don't know who you are, or they don't remember your name rather the day before, doesn't mean that you should give them the look. And this is the look. When someone asks you again after they met you that day, the day before rather, they met you the day before, and then you walk up to them and they remember you and they say, hey, how are you doing today? Oh, it's so good to see you. And then you give them the look like, hi. And who are you again? What's your name? And then they do it the next day and the next day. So don't automatically make a person feel indifferent and make them feel like they are, they have some other type of illness or educational defect in your mind that you're thinking. Just, it may be that they have short-term memory, that they just can't remember what happened the day before, and that means that something in their lives went another way or happened to them. Be mindful of how you approach and how you treat people out there, because you never know what someone else is going through or has gone through. You never know that. And, and that's not a funny situation. It's not, and it's nothing to laugh at or to judge or to mistreat. I've like Greg says, I've worked in this industry for a long time, and I have, I've come across in many different areas, and it seems like it's not so much of men, but women have a thing about, do we even like each other? Maybe it's because of the way, things have gone, but I don't know if we like each other really, or do we trust each other? Or maybe it's been that way because of that. And in March, we're going to talk about that, which is tomorrow, about National Women's Month. So we're going to see what we're going to talk about as far as women go. But we still have that, even when we get to the age of 85, 90, we still have that mean girl mentality and spirit, that mean girl. So, I've seen many of our beautiful, beautiful senior women, as soon as they see someone different or not remembering something or they can't understand the aphasias, they make fun of them and make someone feel indifferent. And that's where the mental illness comes in, or mental things come in. Comes in when the depressions come in, Greg, and you feel a certain way because no one then wants to talk to you, and they make you feel slanted in a certain way, or they make you feel that you have to be alone, and you become alone by yourself. And I don't think anyone should ever feel that way. So that's where that comes in, that part of it. So, well, that's what we are now going for. We're going to have Senior Resources is going to come in and talk to us about, a lot of the programs that they have that will help individuals and help seniors where they don't have to feel alone, or people with those disease processes, especially when you're talking about 65 or older. And 65 actually is young. 65 is the new 55. 55 is the new 45. I don't know why that is, but it's because, we're gaining more, we're doing more, we're out here trying to benefit our health and our exercise for self right now, and which is good. We're learning a lot more, we're doing a lot more in our communities, so we're able to, live longer, and which is nice. I want to get to that point where I'm in that, what is that 100 club, that 90-year-old club? I want to get to that point. Well, we'll see about that, but I want to get into that club too. All right, so anything else you want to talk about when it comes to those aphasias and the star stuff and what's going on in the media about that, Greg?
Oh, like you hit a good point. I mean, you opened up with Wendy Williams and Bruce Willis, and and it just happened. It happened so quick, and like you said earlier. Treat people the way you want to be treated, just because they have something wrong with them or any type of defects and character defects.
Which we all do.
We're still human.
Yeah, we're human. We all do.
Still going to need each other, I remember I was in the military. I know you mentioned veteran. When I first joined the service, that was kind of hard, especially after this car accident. Mm-hmm. And the fractured skull, and
But mention that, just a quick mention, Greg. 14 years old, you were in the hospital for how long?
6 months.
6 months. In the hospital, out of state for 6 months. Mm-hmm. Came home, by that time you were about maybe 15 and a half, mm-hmm. turning 16. 17 years old, joined the service. Went into the military. Continue. I'm just saying, look at where you were. At a fractured skull and a broken femur.
Yeah, I was 18 years old. Graduated from high school at 17. Mm-hmm. And then I went in the military at 18. And it's kind of rough. It was rough. And, I was accepted in. I had to go through the test, the mm-hmm. the physical and tests, and the written and physical, and I was accepted in. And then it was hard. And but one thing I can say about when I was in there, nobody made fun of me. Even when I went in the, because you remember the training and mm-hmm. putting the guns together, taking the guns apart, and heavy equipment, and my most was my trade, and they probably said to themselves, they probably kept it to themselves, but they didn't say anything. I did it, did a lot of times, but nobody made fun of me, and then made fun of me, and plenty of times I called my mother up and said, what the heck I'm doing in here? This is. It must have been really, really hard out here in the civilian life to join the service, and I stuck with it, and Made
Live
it,
and learn. Here you are today.
made it through. Like I said, I don't have no excuses for anybody, because you know, I made it through there, and on top of that, I had a broken leg. You know, limping. One leg was longer than the other. All that marching, obstacle course, and all that stuff, and endured it, and then got into the labor's union. And another physical, everything physical, physical task. And like I said, I have no complaints. It kept me busy. You know, I then remember I got in an accident, had the back surgery, and then tried to get back into the computers and stuff like that, and they wanted to put me on Ritalin, and because of the brain injury, and
Well, that's because it does. They take certain medications, and and when they think that you have an adult, I'm sorry. So they think that you have. I should rephrase it before I say it. So they'll put you on Ritalin and different medications when they think that you have hyperactive. Things that you may do, and because of the brain injury, and it reduces it. It acts the opposite effect. So where they're chemically trying to help your brain chemically get where it needs to get to in order for you to be able to function, like to concentrate. You know,
Right.
like when they give
Right.
children who have HD or ADD, they give them something, and which Ritalin, helps with the certain stimulations of the brain, but not everybody. It's other side effects to that, and I don't think that children should even be on that. But an adult, they often try to do that in order to help the brain to
concentrate.
To
And
concentrate.
you're right. It was to concentrate. I was trying to get into business down at Sawyer, and the typing and all that stuff, and just wanted me to concentrate more. But here we go again. It just gets frustrated. It gets frustrated when you can't concentrate on something. Or if you get memory, you can't remember this, and it's such repetitive. Everything was repetitive, and that gets kind of annoying. It really does. For me, it did. It's kind of annoying. I said, heck with this. I'd rather go back out in the field, which I did. But like I said, it wound up being great. I'm in good shape now. And
But you can laugh about it. So
Yeah.
you can laugh about it, which many can't. But you can laugh about some of the things that occurred or that has happened. But you're at that good place, but a lot of people still aren't at that good place.
Yeah, and like I was at the gym the other day, guy said, "Excuse me, I mean to ask you, how old are you?" I said, 64. 64? Doing 100 push-ups and doing sit-ups and chin-ups, all of this? And he's looking at his father, because it was father's son.
Oh my!
Dad, you're 50. And you look just as old as he does. I said, oh, please don't say that to your father like that. Oh, please.
Oh.
And he started, he had a
Yeah.
nice long beard. This was just yesterday. And then here we go again. I just thank God. And I know you're a talk show host, but also my wife, and got to eat good too. We just talked about that before the show started.
Yeah.
You got to eat good. You got to eat.
Nutrition is
You have
everything.
to eat. You have to eat. I know I have to eat good. Now, even the stuff that I don't want to eat, I eat, because I know it's good for me.
Yeah.
And you trust me. That Floresia, the co-host America, if it ain't good for you, eat it, please, because you're gonna wind up being nice and strong and healthy, mind, body, and soul. And that's what it's all about: your mind, body, and soul.
Man.
And not just eating. You mentioned in life, even with the military or even the union, and open up their own construction company. America, I had to do a lot of things that I didn't really want to do in life to really enjoy life. And I really can admit that. And, I really can admit that. One of them, not just eating. I had to do a lot of things in life that I really didn't really want to do. So now I'm reaping what they call the fruits of my labor and enjoying it. And with the help of Floresia Allen, and it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. And it's nothing like it in the world, America.
Well, that's beautiful, and I thank you so much for that because you're always giving me my flowers. He's always giving me my flowers, and that's wonderful. And I love being able to, have this healthy, relationship that I have, with Gregory Allen, and it's fun, and it's exciting every day. Every day. It's funny and exciting every day. All right, so now. And this is what we're going to really, every month we're going to try to do some more, education series and some things on as far as this particular topic because it's really important. And it's not just like we, say it's not, just it had to the point, it's not just an older population. Then, you know what, let's think about this. What's going to happen with, and I'm not saying anybody can, everyone has their likes and what they want to do. But we are in a big cannabis world right now. If people think that does not affect your mental capacity, you're wrong. You're so wrong. So I want everyone just to think about now at 25, what's going to happen at 40 to your mental status. Just think about that. But and we'll talk about that too. But also, now we have March coming up, so we have St. Patty's Day is coming, Greg.
You have St. Patty, we got Easter Bunny, we have, what else we have in March? That's April or March? March, April.
It's the end of March. Easter is the end of March. We have Passover. We have
a lot of stuff.
We have a lot of stuff, which is good. We have wonderful resurrection, which is great. Those of us who believe in, believe as well, and we honor everyone. But did you go ahead?
You mentioned St. Patty's Day.
That's coming up. New London, Mystic,
St. Patty's Day.
Middletown. I don't know some of the other ones, but Mystic has a really big one. I heard, and that would be really great. A big parade, that would be nice. But you know what? Really, truly, and I give it to Greg's Mahoney Allen heritage, but I'm not marching in no cold. I'm sorry. I love all y'all, but I'm not marching in the cold. I'm not. You see all this delicacy? I'm not marching in the cold. I'm not doing that. I love you, and I love all of you. All of you, I love you. But all of this is not marching in the cold. I just saw, we just saw a friend of ours in which we call him a friend now because he's a great, great, wonderful person, try to attempt today to challenge the cold and go get the mail. And I'm not going out there. March is a windy month, but he was challenging that cold today. I don't know because the sun was shining, and I know I shouldn't be laughing, but I just see the memory of the face when he was challenging the cold, trying to get the mail, and came back with like, oh no, this is not happening today. So no, Floresia's not doing that. I know the cold is good for us and it's great for the germs and so is the snow and all that other good stuff below temperatures and that's it. They can't live in it and whatever. But happy St. Patty's Day for when it comes, but I'm not challenging the cold like that and I'm not marching in no winds. Sorry, I had to go there. Go ahead, Greg.
All right, so if the weather's nice, I think that should be, if the weather's nice, we should.
Who's we?
If the weather's nice, if it's not cold. Since I'm part.
Oh, he got that Mahoney
Irish.
in him. Yes. Nehemiah Mahoney. That's his grandfather.
Yes.
And he can say we all he wants to. Now we can drive. We can put something on the truck. Anybody who wants to come in there, we will put it on the truck and drive through the parade. Maybe we can ask about that. But I'm not marching in the cold and have tears coming out my eyes. I'm not doing that. Even though I love the cold weather, but I'm not doing that. But I do respect, and I give the greatness of the Mahoney family and the Allen and Mahoney family. But you might not see a lot of us, a lot of the Mahonies that look like us out there, audience, in sec land, but you'll see this one right here. Put the camera on Mr. Gregory Allen Mahoney. You'll see this big white beard out there, and he doesn't mind. You see, he goes out just like that. He just covers the bald head and goes. So you know that's a Mahoney effect. That's not a Floresia or Crawford effect. That's not a Crawford effect at all. So yes, so we'll celebrate that with him, and so everybody get all of their wonderful Lucky Luck stuff out. That's gonna be fun. Really is. What you making to eat, Greg?
I don't know. We still have some food that you made. You made some nice.
No, not tonight. I mean, as far not tonight. I'm talking about what you're gonna have on St. Patty's Day.
Well, you know, what's St. Patty's Day? You know,
Corned beef.
Corned beef and the cabbage.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta have the corned beef and the cabbage. And you make a good meal. I mean, I can make it too, but you put a hurt on that corned beef and cabbage, Floresia.
Yeah.
And I love that corned beef.
I know.
I wonder if we can smoke corned beef.
I don't know.
Well, we're gonna see.
We have to get a couple
Google
of them,
it.
but that's not the typical way.
But that corned beef and with the cabbage, oh man, I love it.
Potatoes and carrots.
With a little bit of hot sauce on it. Oh,
Potatoes and carrots.
Potatoes, carrots. Oh, you put it all in there, girl. Making me hungry now. A little bit of hot sauce.
You gonna have some soda bread. You gonna have some bread.
Oh my goodness. Oh, whatever you make, Floresia, you know I'm going to eat it.
Well, you heard that. Sequan, you heard it. Whatever I make, he's going to eat it. And he does. He really does. He eats it. He eats very well.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
We might have to pack it up because we have a new tester that's going to be testing our foods too. So, and he knows who he is. Oh, we went and got the wings.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
my. Oh. We went, and I'm not trying to, tell people where to go, but we went to a good spot in Waterford, spot that's near a Big Lots Plaza, spot that we, went out there and got, because we were talking about whole wings versus the little wing, little party wings. But anyway, I love wings. I love wings and wings, but the particular place that we went and got wings at, and I don't know too many places, and this is a great, great Asian spot, an Asian restaurant, great Chinese restaurant that had whole wings. And we went and got them. And Greg, what did you think about those?
Well, you know what? The wings was great, and they were American wings. They were good wings. They were American. Oh, my God.
I don't know what that means, but I don't know what that means. But I know that they were good.
They
and
were
they were
good.
Tasty
Oh,
wings.
They were just as tasty and
they were dry. They weren't a wet wing.
Oh no, they were beautiful.
They weren't a breaded
beautiful,
wing.
Beautiful wings.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Now I do like a dry rub wing too.
Beautiful.
We're gonna have to bring something where we have to get a table where we're gonna have to, bring some good, tasty, sample stuff. That's gonna be our next thing. We're gonna be a lot of food stuff.
Oh,
be
yes.
Up, especially because springtime is coming. Wonderful things that we need in food. We really concentrate on the healthy eating aspects of it, of life, and we're gonna add that into it as well. On our show, and we'll have people coming in, tasting, eating, and they got to eat while we talk about stuff. We like to eat. We like food. We like every kind of food, any kind of food, all kinds of food. It doesn't matter. In fact, I got some octopus.
Yeah, love. Yeah, we love food. Love it.
You changed that subject real quick.
I don't know about octopus.
We got some octopus that I want to play with. That I love octopus. Pulpo. I love that. Good. Say it, Greg. Pulpo.
Pulpo.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, pulpo.
Got some chicken. Arroz con pollo. Chicken and rice. I'm Geechee, so chicken and rice, arroz con pollo. We love chicken, rice, beans. I love legumes. Is that how you say it? Yeah, I think so.
Legumes. That's cabollo, legumes.
Yeah, Greg will say it any kind of way, but he'll eat it. Right, Greg?
Food, yeah. Mucho food. Love food.
He'll get up in the middle of the night and taste food.
Love food.
Oh, yeah. We
love
just
good,
made some.
Good tasting food.
Oh, yes. Even though he's from the Bronx, Throw him a pizza from the Bronx. He'll have that first. Then he'll go or one of them hot dogs. He'll have that first. Him and Denzel Washington, they'll have that first. Then they'll have food. They'll have more kinds. We made some beautiful curry goat the other day too. Huh?
Oh yes, that curry goat was good. With the what kind of beans you put in there?
Made some curried goat and added some beautiful red beans, some dark red beans to it. Of course, and added some, we tested it. Some rice with it, beautiful jasmine rice. And so we had red beans with it to go along with it, and put some mushroom, onions, garlic, fresh garlic, which we thank Mike and Elizabeth for that beautiful garlic. And we're getting it to the end of it. Some fresh, wonderful garlic. It's beautiful. We're at the end of our garlic, so we added that to it as well. But we had some goat.
Oh, that was beautiful, Risa. Mm-hmm. The goat, the onions. Matter of fact, there's some little bit left, some leftovers, and I thought they were kidney beans.
They are red beans, red kidney beans, dark red kidney beans.
Okay, they were. I know they were tasty.
And we curried them too. Yeah.
There were some red kidney beans. Oh my goodness.
And they were in the curry sauce, so it was good.
Delicious, and then the meat just fell right off the bone. That goat meat.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't it tender?
Oh, you must have seared it and
yes.
everything.
Yes, seared it first. First sear. Sear. Some people don't do it; they just pour it in there and that's it. But no, I sear it first. With the curry and the everything else in with it. We have beautiful thyme, wonderful.
Oh my goodness.
And then you have to slow low. And let that just simmer. Let it simmer hours and hours and hours. Oh.
Or you could put it in a crock pot.
Yeah, you can, but you're still gonna go low.
Yeah, you can put it
high to low and let it just simmer.
But it was delicious. Oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. It was delicious. Them red kidney beans. Oh my goodness.
Oh, and he doesn't like beans. He told me, no, I don't eat beans. This is the northerner in him. I don't eat beans. That's not good food. That's just poor people food. I don't like beans.
Well, if I eat it every day, I wouldn't like it.
You don't eat beans every day.
If I eat it every day, what the heck? Not with you, but growing up.
I could eat it every day.
You can eat it every day. I said, I gotta give me some pasta or something. Beans every day. I thought something was wrong.
Okay, and we are looking for the next time and our next show. We're talking about food, and thank you, and we'll see you next week on Talk About It. That was beautiful. Beautiful.